Not much to say. Like, you start a game at 4 and you end at 7:30. Senior day marathon. But just, proud of our guys for how they just fought and competed. And, Marcus was unbelievable. He was unreal. And then, but I thought that the 4 seniors, the one that played the boatload, Nikita, Mush, J.R., Roper, they were not going to let us lose. They were going to will us to victory in some way, somehow, and just proud of our group.
Questions? Mike, what was the difference for Marcus? I think he didn't have a field goal the whole second half after having a big first half, and then got loose in the overtime sessions. What were the difference you thought in those?
Yeah, just some different, like trying to find different matchups, trying to move them a different way. They do a good job of really trying to deny you right after makes, after they make, having somebody there to pick you up, like if he passed it. So, we just had to find something that we could go to try and spring him open a little bit. And then, a couple things that we got that we just kind of stuck with because he was making some plays out of it, whether it was off the ball, whether it was on the ball. So, still some stuff I think we can clean up, right? Like sometimes as you get late in the game like this, when he doesn't have it, like what are we going to? But then how can we try and free him in a different way? So it's stuff that we can work on and keep growing from. But he made some huge shots, man.
How would you describe your emotions in a game like this? There must have been half a dozen times where you thought we're not going to pull it out, and half a dozen times where you thought you were going to pull it out.
Yeah. Just like I was riding the wave like those guys were. Just like we got a group of guys that like we've been in a lot of situations. We've been in a lot of close situations. We've been up and lost. We've been down and come back. Like we've played in close games. Today there was opportunities where you needed stops because they got the ball last, or you need a bucket because we got the ball last, and nobody could really win it there at the end. And they just kind of fought through. Right? It was just like keep trying to put us in the best positions to have success on offense and defense, and that's it. Right? That's all the keep us from thinking that we're tired, right? And keep us calm and poised in the moments we need.
Kevin went down with like 15 and a half minutes to go in the game. What does he have a concussion? What's his situation?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just know that he went down and he came back to the bench and they just said he's out. He's out for the rest of the game. So I haven't had a chance to talk to Nixon or our docs or to see like what or why or what the situation is. They just, they tell you he's out, and then it's like, okay, how do we sub? How do we rotate versus a team that's humongous in the paint?
I think Nikita's had that kind of playing time this year.
I don't think so either. Not at all. It's probably 2 or 3 games it takes him to get to 44 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then again, if somebody would have said you're going to go 4 overtimes without Tay Davis and win, you might have been surprised by that.
Yeah. You look and he played 15 minutes, and you had to fight through some foul trouble early, and then he picks up another, and he picks up a third, then he picks up a fourth, and you try and manage it the best you can. But he fouled out so early that like you get in that spot and you don't really he had 12 points, but like he just wasn't a factor because we played a whole nother game without him. It just shows there was some stuff. I thought J.R. tried to attack in that way. This was a playmaker's game. How they defend makes it a playmaker's game. You need some guys that can put the ball on the deck and get in the paint and make a play. And I thought Mush and J.R. were kind of getting to that for us.
Micah, what's it say about this group that Marcus can foul out down by 4 and still find a way to pull it out?
Just their belief in each other, right? I mean, I guess this is I guess it helps us that we played, 7, 8 games without him, right? You win some close games when he's not. You beat Syracuse in a close game without him where you got to get down the stretch and do it. But Braden played in that game, right? So, like, now it's even different. But, like, it was just about getting stops. And, when it gets to clutch time, man, I know he missed a couple, but Mush is not scared of the moment, man. He is not scared of the moment. He wants it. Some people don't want it. Like, they are like, hey, stand me in the corner and do something else. He is, I want the basketball, and I want an opportunity to win the game. And when Marcus fouled out, he just said, I'm not going to let us lose.
Was leading on the seniors late intentional? Like, you could have brought some of those young guys in maybe, but
Not really.
felt
Like,
they were the best
yeah,
guys.
not really. We were just rolling with them because they had been guarding, right? Like, you get so late, you're staying in the same stuff that works, right? Both teams are running the same stuff over and over again because something good has happened within it. So, like, those guys had just been guarding it, and then making adjustments with how we guard it. It's hard for somebody that's standing on the outside and listening. I might be able to hear what you're saying, and I might see you draw it on a whiteboard. But for me to come in and now guard it is a little bit tougher, right? So you just lean on those guys that have been playing, right? And we could have been close to having more people foul out, but I felt on the defensive end, those guys gave us the best chance. But then, we start subbing offense, defense for guys that, like, Sir Muhammad, we trust him inbounding the ball, right? Garrett and Cole running to get catches and being able to make free throws, even when they haven't been in and been cold. So having different groups and using different groups. But I felt like those older guys being able to guard there late, I wanted to try and stick with them.
Anything else?
Coach, Matt, he went off for like 8 straight in overtime, but even before that, he was having a lot of timely buckets. Can you sort of speak to how he was able to impact winning?
Yeah. He's just so tough, man. Like, I'm not good at understanding number, whatever. Like, he's missed 7 out of 8 games or 7 out of 9 games. And for him to play 54 minutes with, a heavily taped wrist, like his wrist is just like tape is like holding his hand to his arm. And him being willing to take tough shots in that moment, man. Like, some of those threes he made were, just bold, man. All I could think about was Sam Cassell in those moments. Sam Cassell celebration.
Great, thanks.
Thank you, sir.
See you guys.
Matt, what's the most overtimes you ever played in? And just give us encapsulate what you just experienced.
What's the most I played?
Yeah, that's it.
This one?
You ever have a 3 overtime one?
Not to my knowledge. Maybe a couple double overtime.
Yeah.
Rutgers this year, double
Yeah.
overtime.
Just if you could just share your thoughts on what you just experienced.
I probably speak for everybody when I say we sure as hell weren't gonna play another one. All right, so we were gonna get it done in that last one. We had to, we had the lead in a couple of them, gave it up. Wilkinson hit some tough shots, kept him in it, but just kept grinding, staying in the moment. Never lost fear or confidence. Never had any fear. So unbelievable team effort.
And Marcus, I know you had some big games in high school. Did you exceed 43 points in high school?
I had more than 43.
Yeah. Yeah. Just your thoughts on what you just went through.
Honestly, this was just a complete team effort, honestly. We went out there and competed. Obviously, a lot of us fouled out and etc., but we still had a lot of teammates that still fought for us. Our coaches still believed in us. You could look over and Coach Shoes was still yelling. He was still coaching. He didn't sit down one time today. So that goes to show just who we are.
And J.R., I know it was senior day for you. I'm not sure what your plans are next year, but if this was the last game that you played in this arena, how would you describe it?
This one, definitely. This is, probably one of the craziest games I've played in, and also like witnessed performance-wise. Like, there were just big shots being made on both ends, and damn, I don't even know what to say. I'm just grateful to get that win. End it in the fourth overtime. Oh my God, that's awesome.
We don't even know
Yeah,
how many it was.
I'm overwhelmed right now. That was amazing.
There was a 5 overtime game against Louisville here 12 years ago.
That's right.
Shout out to those guys.
Marcus, what are the emotions like when you foul out and you have to watch from the bench, but you see Allocco and the rest of the guys pull it out?
I mean, I was very upset in the moment, but at the same time, I still have to be the bigger person and cheer on my teammates from the sideline and make sure they're doing what they need to do to get this dub. So that's where my head was at, and obviously Matt and J.R. they led us to victory tonight. So I'm just excited we got the dub for real.
Matt, can you take us through that last 3-pointer? You kind of went around the screen, got the shot.
Yeah, I was leaving a lot of them short, so came off that one, had a little bit of space, just tried to get my legs over under it. So it felt good the whole way. Feed off the crowd in that moment too. There's a lot of energy in the building, so you don't really feel tired. The dead balls maybe is when you feel it, but going up and down like that. But felt the confidence from my teammates, inspiration from him doing the same thing. So just unbelievably proud of everybody. Fought our ass off.
Were you feeling the wrist injury at all? I know you've been playing through pain the past couple games.
Is what it is. No comment on that. It's too late in the season for any of that. Everybody's banged up. Duke, Auburn, Notre Dame, everybody's gonna be a little banged up in March. But we still think we got a long way to go.
Maybe Matt or JR, what was the key to getting stops later? That Cal seemed to be getting to the rack a lot late, and you guys finally stepped up and got some stops. What changed for you guys?
I mean, we kind of just all came together in the last huddle before the fourth overtime. And we're like, this is it. Like, this is the last one. Like, we have to win it right here. We have to put ourselves in position to make them miss, get the rebound, and all that stuff. And I think it was just everybody they just had that will to win. Honestly, they had that fight to keep going. And yeah, credit to the other 4 guys that were out there with me at the end, because everyone was just standing on 10 toes and they're doing whatever they could to get the win. So
Julian Roper, I'm gonna shout him out.
yeah.
Yeah, that boy a dog.
Nikita, 17 rebounds. So
Yeah.
man, whole team effort.
Great team effort.
Definitely.
Marcus, you went, I think, the whole second half without making a field goal, and then obviously you were scoring a lot in the overtime sessions. What clicked for you there in those overtime sessions?
The second half, obviously they guarded me a little different than they did in the first half, and I mean at the same time I wasn't gonna force it, but I knew it was my time to put on a show and will my team to victory, and that's what I had to do. And I feel like the coaching staff trusts me, but also I have the whole team around me, and they're trusting me too to take the shots that I take. So obviously I just give credit to them and my coaches.
Anything else? Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys.